thing we got to do. Let's see, live chat, and then we go. Okay, Sinfuls is on board. Hi, Craig. He says, and Sinfuls says, I invited Paul from World Zoom. See if he comes. Sinfuls, he comes. Craig Jordan, Paul. Sinfuls, yes, the guy who has World Zoom YouTube channel. I haven't really had a chance to watch him yet. Somebody said that he was mentioned in my channel a few times. I think it was you, Sinfuls. Let's see. He has a good channel. That's good. Let's see how many people we got on here. We got 3 thumbs up already. See how many people we can get on here tonight. See if we get this started. But whoever wants to start any conversation, we can start up anything you want, except for politics. Let's see. How you doing tonight, Craig? It's good to see you back on here. I don't think you were on here last time. I'm not sure. Maybe you were. Let's see who else is on here. We got up to 12 already. So let's get this ball rolling tonight. We're going to try to probably do an hour and a half tonight if we can. We'll try to. We'll see how good the channel goes tonight. It's been a busy week this week, so I just actually got back from one of the malls. See, Robert Almeida. Hey, Steve, did you see Mike's channel yesterday about Montez situation? No, I did not. I'm not sure what the Montez situation is. See, my middle-age adventures. I'm new to your channel. Hey, welcome to our channel, man. Good to see you on here. It's good to see some new people on here every once in a while. Anders Dreifeld. Hello, Steve from Malmo. That's where my ancestors used to live, was in Malmo, from Sweden. Sinful says, my middle-age adventures. Welcome, Robert Almeida. Monty. I'm not sure who Monty is. I don't watch the other channels that much, because if I watch the other channels, I don't have much time to myself, believe it or not. Dickie Spaz is on board. Hello, Steve and Sinfuls. Lazy Larry Lee says, hi, Steven, I'm watching ads. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. For you guys who want to know, that's the only thing we ask is you just try to watch our ads to help the channel. It really does help us. Cindy G, American female in the Philippines. How you doing, Cindy? Welcome aboard. It's good to have an American female on here. Craig Jordan, I just read story of a Russia T-90 tank from Ukraine war ending up in Louisiana. That's cool. Sinful says, hi, Dickie. Lazy Larry Lee, Sinfuls, hello. Robert Almeida says, I think Monty is from the Crew family. I don't follow these other channels, Robert, so I really don't know anything about them that much. I know a few of the other channels. I know some of the guys and stuff, but I really don't watch the other channels, so I can't really comment. BT and Betty's Philippine Adventures, howdy. Big Al Boogie, Steve, the 2,500 sweet spot doesn't add up according to Jasper in the Philippines. Well, that's their thing. The sweet spot is more than just a budget. It also means you get 2,500. You have enough for your budget, and you have enough to save for the future when you reach 70. Because for anybody that's just coming over here, most people over here don't have any money in the bank. They don't. And when you reach 70, you're going to need a lot more money for your insurance and stuff like that. That's why you need between the $2,000 and $3,000 a month sweet spot. It also includes savings. If you watch the sweet spot budget, I've done it several times. I talk about saving some of that money and putting some of it aside for emergencies. Build your emergency fund all the time. You know, with inflation and everything, a lot of people don't build their emergency fund, and you need to build that. And if you die, you need it to be, left to somebody also, like your girlfriend or your wife or what have you. Tom's away says, hi, Steve. I feel like we'll meet soon. Okay, sounds good, man. Dickie Spaz says, although I'm having a hard, I'll say to Tom, Tom's away, is that I'm having a harder time meeting people lately because we're getting a lot of people coming in here, and some people I can't meet. But I'd like to try to meet with as many people. But we do have a monthly get together. Tom's away, so if you want to meet at that, we could do something like that if you ever want to meet in the future, if you're here permanently. Dickie Spaz, Monty is a nice guy. Hope things turn around. I'll have to check this guy out. It's called Monty Cruz. Is that what it is? Sinfuls, yes. Hope Monty gets it figured out. Randy Bryant, what's up, Steve? My channel is growing leaps and bounds here in Davao City. I mentioned you in one of my videos, and or a lot of positive feedback. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. we will be doing a video pretty soon. Hold on. My throat's all not doing good tonight. We will be doing a video sometime in the future, and if anybody wants to throw out some good channels out there, sometime in the future, I'll ask you guys, and then I will put some of those channels out there, especially the smaller ones. I don't want to put the bigger ones out there. I want to put good small channels out there to give them a little bit of a push. Third time's a charm says, been living in the Philippines for last year. Do you recommend living in Tracy Martires if you want to get a good mix of province and city life? Yes. A lot of people think it's provincial here. It's not. Where I live, it's a kind of a mix of both. But throughout the city, it's really just, it's like any other city here. It's built up, this smog. I happen to live on a side of the city that's really, really nice. There's golf courses and jungle behind me, as you guys have seen in the videos. We have rare birds down back, and it's really kind of cool. GJM says, hello. Are there often traffic police controls in the Philippines? We have a lot of police up in Manila that will pull you over for all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Sinful says, the Cruz family. I'll have to check that out. Sinful says, not much on police controls. Up in Manila, there is somewhat, but not a lot. Dickie Spaz says, dozen eggs cost me $6.25 yesterday. That's crazy in the United States, man. Cindy G, watch Randy Bryan, good channel. Sinful says, ouch, Dickie. Sinful's, I get 2 dozen for about $3.80. It's cheap here for eggs, guys. We get them from Batangas right down the street here, really, really cheap. GJM says, what do you think about Dumaguete or Bacolod at Negros Island? I haven't been down that way. I know a little bit about Dumaguete. From what I'm hearing, the prices are going up higher, and it's getting harder to find places down there, they said. And the prices are going off the charts. A lot of people are saying they're staying away from there now. Andrew Streifeld says, in Sweden, you get 2 dozen of eggs for that. Craig Jordan says, Sinfuls, what's the price of onions these days? Onions has practically gone down to normal, I think, pretty much. I haven't heard anything about onions for quite a while. Sinfuls, Craig Jordan, are those a little high? Virgilio says, greetings from the DR, Dominican Republic. I've been there. I've been around Tenaris and a few other places down there. Some other towns. I can't remember the names of the towns, though, but I've been all around there. I've been to a couple of resorts. Dickie Spaz says, lucky you, Sinfuls. Inflation is out of control. It's out of control here, guys. It really is. Let's see. Steve, Big Al Boogie says, Steve, my point being is Filipinos live on $300 per month. Some less, $2,500 sounds like a lot for a third world country. But what you're considering is what they live off of. And as Westerners, we need insurance. We need better phones. We want better services, better internet. A lot of these people that are living on $300, they don't have any internet. They don't have any insurance. They don't have any of that. A lot of them don't have cars. Some people have cars here. That $2,000 to $3,000 can get you back and forth to the U.S. if you need to fly back to the U.S. because a lot of people want to fly back to the U.S. at least once a year. That's why I did the $2,000 to $3,000, because it covers a lot of bases. It gives you more choices. It's living like a retired person should, rather than living like a poor person in squalor. Yeah, if you want to come over here and live on $300 per month, have at it. It ain't going to be fun. I think anybody that lives over here will tell you that. No, but it's not a race to the bottom. It's a race to the top. So, that's just my advice. Anybody that wants to come over here and live on $300 a month, I think you're insane. It's true. And any other person over here, expat, would tell you, if you're going to come over here at $300, $500, $800, have at it, but it's not going to be fun. I've seen them fail, GJM, do you have a good fiber internet in your place? Yes, we have good internet in my home. It's pretty decent. It's gotten better. It did break down a long time ago, but it's gotten better recently. Craig Jordan says, Sinfuls, yes, my sister-in-law is still complaining about the price of onions. I don't know. I don't have too much of a problem with onions over here. Maybe because there's a guy down the street that grows onions. Virgilio G, I'm in Santiago. Sinfuls, 48 watches, only 14 thumbs up. Tap it, folks. See, we're up to 63 and 19, so we're doing pretty good. Thanks, guys. Tom's Away says, did you see much of a subscriber boost from the Singapore article? Yes. We did 1,700 subscribers last month. 1,700, and it's still actually going up. Every time I look at it, it grows by like 10 people. It's amazing watching that. Sinfuls, what do you all think of Steve's Condo video? Let's see. Robert in Mindanao, why do you always do nighttime lives there? Try every morning. I'm sure you would get more viewers. We might do that sometime in the future, but I'm not a morning person, so it's kind of hard for me to do that. I don't get up to like 10:30. Soulful Cooking with KT. I enjoy your channel. Keep up the good work. I may never get back there, but if I do, you'll be the first person I'm trying to connect with. Sounds good, man. Big Al Boogie says Canadian Doc lives in Phuket on 1100 USD per month. Doc eats fresh fruit every day, internet and all bills included. Also bike rental. Don't forget, guys. I mean, I keep saying this over and over, Big Al Boogie. I understand that people live in cheap, but they're only giving you part of their budget. I'm talking about your income should be at least $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Your income. And that's what you budget out of that. You have to budget savings for when you hit your 70s. You should be putting some money away for your insurance when you reach your 70s. And also you should be pumping a little bit of money extra each month into your emergency fund. God forbid something happens. Robert from Mindanao. Hi, from Mindanao, by the way. RLV, onion prices are old. Let's see. Anders says, I live good there on 900. If I get sick, I take the first flight home. It is even cheaper with a girlfriend. You can live pretty cheap over here, but the problem is, I mean, if you get sick, take the first flight home. Sometimes you can't when you have a heart attack or a stroke, and that's usually the stuff that happens over here. You're not going to take a flight with a stroke or a heart attack, trust me. GJM says, what cheap city province do you recommend with good internet in central Versailles, not Luzon, not Mindanao? I don't know. I don't know that much about down there. I know like Panay, Iloilo, those places are halfway decent to live. They're good. Robert Mindanao says onions are cheap again. See, I mean, I'm not having problems with onion prices around here. 1 million says, hi Steve, what is this? What is the specialist doctors you go to in Manila? By the way, I live in Manila for under $2,000 a month. You can live there. You can live anywhere in here for like cheap money. But like I said, if you want to live like you're retired, you want $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And if you're gonna live like you're gonna save for later, if you want to keep living here, with inflation and stuff like that, you might want to put some of that money away. That's why I say $2,000 to $3,000. That's the key to living here. The specialist doctors are out of De La Salle University Hospital in Dasma. Okay, that's a good hospital, and it's reasonable too. Just Stuffing Things says, hey Steve, good morning. Chuck from Canada. Good news. Just booked round trip ticket to the Philippines for November 30 to December 30, 2,500 Canadian. Spending Christmas with my girlfriend in Salai City. Tim Norton says, I know you remember Haymarket in Boston for cheap vegetables and fruit. Yes. Yep. That's where they had the great molasses spill there. They spilled this thing broke open of molasses. And even to this day, they say you can still smell it down there a little bit. You can smell that sweet molasses smell down on those streets whenever they dig something up, because a lot of it's soaked into the ground. Lazy Larry Lee says, hi, Robert from Mindanao. Robert Mindanao says, hi, Larry Lee. Chuck 8619 says, good morning from San Diego. Starting to get my apostles for September. Sounds good, man. Michael L says, good evening, Stephen. How are you? Hopefully you're handling your breakup okay. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing okay. We're doing fine here. Just trying to move on, I mean, I wish you the best and everything. And, I'm just trying to get past that, Alfred C says, hi, Stephen. How popular is motorbike and scooter for expat to go places? It's very popular here, especially in my group, because we have quite a lot of guys here, and a lot of them have the scooters. Rolling Rock says, new subscriber, appreciate the accurate information. Thanks, Rolling Rock. Sinful says, Alfred C, many use those. I myself choose not to. I don't use a scooter here. I'll use Grab before I use a scooter. Sinful says, Rolling Rock, welcome. Rolling Rock, thank you. Robert in Mindanao says, I can feed 8 people a day here for $10 a day. I do eat Filipino food, including chicken, fish, and seafood. That's pretty good if you can feed 8 people a day for $10 a day. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of Filipino food, so for me, I eat differently, Let's see. There you go. Have a nice day. Says, at a certain point living there, I plan to hire a full-time nurse. I don't want to have 6 different people to take care of me. Let's see. Craig Jordan says, anyone have experience with using Oppo smartphones? Opinions? They're okay. I've never heard a complaint about Oppo. I myself am a Mac fan, so I like the Apple phones myself. Michael L says, Paul from World Zoom stating good things about you and mentioned your info on the sub 100 US dollar apartments in Tracy Mart Terrace. There's a lot of them around here. You know, there's actually one across the street, and there's more they're building down the street, I think, too. So we'll see how those go. Sinful says, Craig Jordan, the Oppo gets great view for their camera. Just Stuffing Things says, hey, Steve, question for you. I will be staying for 30 days and possibly thinking about extending stay another few days to spend New Year's. Does it have to be a full 15 days for the extended visa? No. If it's for a tourist visa, you just extend it, and it's good for another 30 days, usually automatically. Okay, you just go to the BI, they extend it. Okay, you'll be all set. Sinful says, at Michael L, I invited Paul to come on tonight. Well, hopefully he does. Maybe he will. Robert Mindanao says, I can buy chop suey cut up already for less than $1 a kilo, then add protein. See, Justin in Arkansas is on board. That's Justin, our guy. Hi, Steve. I will be flying back May 12th. Then the fun can start. So that's good. I miss Justin. That's one thing I do miss. Justin's he's also my neighbor. He's a fellow contributor, and he's a good friend of mine too. So Justin's cool. We miss him here. Michael L says, why do you think tricycles are so slow? On my first trip in 2017 here, there was a clear stretch of road. I'm a rural area, and I asked the trike to go faster, and he refused. Wow. That's funny. Usually they're pretty good at going fast. Usually the motorcycles can't, if they really can't go that fast, those tricycles. Most of them are 125s, especially with all that load on there. Sinful says, Michael L, yes, and they want to cruise in left lane, LOL. Robert Mindanao says, Chris and Cebu not on in like 6 months at least. Michael L says, trikes are basically motorcycles with a sidecar, yet will only go 40 kilometers per hour. I know for a fact that a 70-year-old BMW with a sidecar can go 100 kilometers an hour. So why can't much newer bikes with a sidecar? Marlon Gibson says, does SRRV cover couples? Yes. I think you pay a little bit more for that, but I'm not sure. We don't do too many couples, and usually Mary Rose takes care of that, but I think it's 500 extra or something like that. I'm not sure. You can always check with Mary Rose, and I can give you that information if you email me. RLV says tricycles equal limited power due to people load. Yes. Most tricycles on average probably carry 2 to 3 people. On average, sometimes more. There you go. Have a nice day. Says there are so many people moving there without visiting first. I watched an interview with a guy that shipped furniture and everything. That's insane. We're getting a ton of people here calling the channel here and moving here now. So many that sometimes I have to turn a couple of them down, and it's only when I get another opening, and usually I have an opening, but I mean sometimes I have to turn people down and tell them I can't take any more because I have to have a life for myself, obviously, you know. Craig Jordan says the Philippine Info Channel, those trikes can struggle hauling an American load. Yes, that's very true. Craig Jordan says American wide bodies. They should put one of those flags in the back, you know, and put a big stick going out there saying wide load, you know. So maybe that would help. So we're at the end of the string. Let's keep it going, guys. Come on, there we go. Sinful says, Craig Jordan, LOL, yes. One time we were going up a hill and barely making it. We had 4 in a tricycle the other day, and it was going top speed, and it was barely moving. Sinful, I wasn't that heavy. Sinful says, and I wasn't that heavy. Yeah, Sinful is skinny. GJM says, is the practical exam for bikes and cars hard? Saying that about the Filipino driver's license. You know, most of the people I think just get it added. You know, or you can, if you have a car license or something like that. Everybody always asks me that question. I go to the LTO and I always get different answers. But I think what it is supposedly the guys would tell me if you have a scooter, if you get a scooter, you can do it with your regular driver's license. And I'm not so sure that that's true, but that's what I've heard. Because I have a driver's license here, but I don't drive. You know, I just got it for ID, and my license is good for 10 years now because I just got my new license. Michael L. Oppo phones suck. Updates are problematical. Build quality is questionable, and the bootloader cannot be unlocked, hindering custom ROMs and radio software. Get a Pixel instead. RLV says, please register to the e-travel website before coming here in the PH to avoid the hassle, especially at the Manila airport. Exactly. That's true. Craig Jordan says, Sinful's one trike driver looked me over and wanted to charge me an additional fare. LOL, still funny. That's funny. Saturn 60, SNR is so expensive. Is Robinson's good enough for most expats? Let's see. Must have. What must have products does SNR have that Robinson's doesn't? Well, SNR has a lot of U.S. goods in bulk, and you can save usually, but you spend a ton of money when you shop there because it's expensive, but you're getting large quantities. And when you get the large quantities, guess what? You usually eat the large quantities because they're available. They're available to you. They're right there. Whereas if you just get smaller quantities, I go around here. I don't go to SNR that much anymore, or to Landers for that matter. Most of the stuff you can order through Lazada. You can order like a lot of sodas. You can order ginger ale. All this stuff can come through Lazada. That you can get from SNR. The only things you can't get is the refrigerated stuff, and you can order that too through Rare Food. I think it's Rare Foods or Rare Meats, and they'll deliver it right to your house. It's usually a little bit thawed out by the time it gets to you, but you can refreeze it. Richie Redwood says Oppo is made in China, not durable. Sinful says at Craig Jordan, ha ha ha. Raquel Vargas says hi Steve and everyone. How you doing, Raquel? Lazy Larry says, Sinfuls, I would have to get out and help push the trike. There we go. Hey, it's good exercise. Marlon Gibson says, what is a apostle? Well, you're spelling it wrong. First of all, it's apostille, and it's like a notary for a notary, or a high-end notary, okay? And it's they seal your papers, and they give it like a stamp and stuff like that, and it's used for other countries. All right. Tim Norton, do you have a favorite month or time of the year to travel to the Philippines? I would say anywhere from November all the way up until April is pretty good. To get back to Marlon Gibson on the Apostle, that is for like when you do the SRRV or anything like that. And also you can apostle marriage certificates and things like that, and it'll work over here. Also, you get birth certificates, all that stuff. You should have it all done. If you're going to move over here, get all that stuff apostoled. Michael, once I moved there, I was planning on getting a BMW R75. However, parts would be problematical, and with the BMW rigorous maintenance schedule, I will go for a Japanese cycle instead. 007 says, if you're going to buy those Android Chinese brands, always buy the high-end models. You won't have any issues. Okay. Leo says, hello from Medellin, Colombia. How you doing, Leo? Good to see you on here, man. Welcome aboard. Simple says, at Saturn 60, we got Krusty's mix and Giardelli mixes. Let's see. There you go. Have a nice day. Says, I've been to Luzon about 20 times. Kind of worried about the U.S. rotating troops there. Subic will probably have troops rotating there. They really don't know how to behave. I don't know about that. Are you talking about the U.S. troops? The U.S. troops have gotten a lot better. I just met some of them the other day. They do have more stipulations on them than they used to. They don't fool around now. You cannot. If you're talking about the troops getting in trouble, I don't think they're going to get in trouble like they used to. It's a totally different military now. Dickie Spaz says, bare bones budgeting is a recipe for disaster and not for me. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Chuck619 says, Marlon Gibson, it's a certification for documents for SRRV. Yes, it's a little bit more than just for SRRV, though. Alfred C. says, I'm getting a motorcycle license in the States and add an endorsement to my driver license. The test and training are worth it before coming over. Yeah, if you can do it in the United States and have it added to your license in the United States, it makes it easy when you get over here and you go to the LTO because they'll just stick it on your new license. So just think of it that way. If you guys are going to get a license, and for you guys that are SRRV holders, the PRA helps you get your license. Okay, just FYI. Tom's Away says, I just got my U.S. license converted to a Philippine license. No exam, motorcycle license included if you already have one. See, it's easy, But somebody told me you can ride the scooters just with a regular driver's license, that they won't bother you. But don't make sure you ask about it, because I know around here we have a few guys that do, and they never get bothered. So, RLV, SNR, not equal to Robinson's. Majority of Robinson's products cater to locals. Yes. They don't have too much stuff, but you can order stuff on Lazada from SNR without getting a membership, as long as it's not refrigerated or frozen. Marlon Gibson says, thanks. Michael L. says, Pixel has 3 years of OS updates, 5 years of security updates. Bootloader can be unlocked, and one can install custom OS like Lineage OS or Kali NetHunter for network engineering work. Gene Lamb says, hello, Stephen and everyone from Valdosta, Georgia. How you doing, Gene Lamb? Good to see you on here tonight. Sinful says, avoid travel to the Philippines in December mostly, unless you need to be here. The traffic and crowds, especially in Manila, are horrendous. Sinful says, hi, Gene. Michael L. says, I won't even touch a Samsung due to locked bootloaders. Need my customization options. Gurkha9 says, Oppo is basically OnePlus. Marlon Gibson says, planning on to retire in 2 years from the government job. There you go, man. There you go. Have a nice day. Says, I'm inside of 1 year being there. Have money set aside for the SRRV. I'll get the contact for the woman you know to help process me for the SRRV. Norma's Ranch says, hello, Steve. How are you? I'm fantastic today, actually. I'm doing good. Norma's Ranch says, send regards to your family. Thank you. Bertle Seth says, arrive Manila April 17th. Annie and I... Oh, it's Bertle Seth. There we go. How you doing, Bertle? Bertle's a good friend of mine. April 17th, Annie and I will go to Palawan for 3+ weeks, but we'll be back in Manila May 13th. See if you are in town. Regards to your friends too, Bertle. Yeah, Bertle, let us know when you're here, man. You know, we'll meet up with you, because we'll probably, maybe I can change the date so that before you go back to Sweden. Michael L. says, I think U.S. Armed Forces are better behaved, since if another incident happens like that ladyboy getting murdered by that Marine, our shared bases would be in danger. Definitely. I noticed when the U.S. military was in here on the USS America, the people were very quiet, and I noticed a totally different attitude. I remember when I was out and about, when you pulled into port, man, you were out looking for fun right away. We were good, we were behaved and stuff like that, but you know, when you got into town and stuff like that, these guys were just sitting in Texas Roadhouse and behaving and having a good time, enjoying themselves, but they didn't look like troublemakers. They were actually, you know, like, I'm not saying we were troublemakers, but I'm saying we didn't stay out of trouble all the time either, but we were pretty well behaved. But these guys are even better than we were, you know, back in the day. Simples, the answer to this question is in one word, no. You cannot rent or drive 125c or 110cc scooters in the Philippines on your car driving license. You must have A1 for small scooters. Okay. Yeah, because we get guys here that are telling us that we can drive with, and they asked some, I think it was a PMP guy, and they said you could. So I don't know. I'm not so sure. Maybe if it's a smaller CC or something like that, not sure. Tom's Away says, Thailand will get you for not having a motorcycle endorsement. I'm not saying, I think you should have it. You know what I mean? You should try to get it on there if you can. But I know that a lot of times they're not bothering the guys from around here. Gene Lynn says, glad to see you too. Norma's Ranch says, wow, I heard Palawan is my place. Let's see, Sinfuls, Norma's Ranch, Palawan is beautiful. I am going next month for my 3rd time. Gene Lim says, Sinfuls, hi to you. Nice to see you all here too. Let's see, we're up to 99 people. Just somebody, 2 more flicked on just now. 33 thumbs up, guys. Thank you, guys. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, guys. That helps the channel. Let's see. Michael L. says, if the internet and hospitals were better, I would live in Palawan. So it will probably be Manila for me. I actually like the Manila area. I mean, I live close to Manila enough, and I like it. You know, Sinful says, Michael L., I agree. A lot of people don't like the Manila area for whatever reason. And if you're far enough out, it gets really nice, you know. Attila says, here in the States, one can ride a scooter without a motorcycle endorsement as long as the scooter is 50cc or less. Because a couple of the cops around here have told us that you can drive like that, so I'm not sure what's up with that. So, I know a couple of the expats have gotten back to me and says, yes, you can. Let's see. Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel, does Tracy Martinez have traffic controls, i.e. stoplights, signs on its road? Yes, we have stoplights and signs. Some places we don't. It depends on where you are. Sinful says, hee, Gene. No worries. Saturn60 says, another YouTuber, Alec Kosh, was followed and almost killed traveling through Mindanao. Do you think Davao City is safe if I don't explore other parts of Mindanao? I think, Mindanao and Davao, I don't know. Davao's beautiful, they say. I know people that live down there. They like it down there. But outside of that area, it can be kind of sketchy in some sections. So I wouldn't travel around in Mindanao at all. That's just me. I'm just being honest. Michael S. says, I love the big city nights and connections in Manila. Pero, there is something magical about El Nido and Coron. Lazy Larry Lee says, the military is all voluntary now, and I believe that this makes for better service. And maybe, that could be it too. Sinful says, Saturn60 Davao City is very safe and clean. I would not go out of the city. No, I wouldn't either. Gene Land says, Sinful's okay, thumbs up. Mark Gibson, my pension will be $949 plus $327 from VA. Will that count as $1,000 per couple for my SRRV? I'm not sure if I never looked at it to see. I usually do one person. I have done a couple couples, but Mary Rose takes care of all the paperwork and the money issues for that. I'm not sure if that's enough for a couple. Or if you need another 500, you need 1,500 for a couple. You might want to contact Mary Rose about that and ask her, is it okay if I have my wife on there? Is it still 1,000? I think it is, but I'm not sure of that. I really don't know because I never asked her about that, and I wish I did know that one. Because we go up there. God, I can't tell you how many times we've gone up there, helping people and stuff like that. But I usually don't get involved in the other aspect. I help with the apostles, the police reports, helping them walk them through the process, stuff like that. Mary Rose takes care of the flip side on that part. I mean, doing a lot of stuff, but when it comes to married couples, we don't do that many. I think I've done like 3, maybe 3 or 4. Actually 4. Dickie Spaz, rule number 1 when visiting Subic back in the day was don't even think about getting married. Some still didn't listen. There we go. Anthony Thompson says, greetings from Dallas, Texas. I will be making my first trip in January 2024, retiring in July 2024. Tom's away. Do you know anyone who's gotten a colonoscopy in the Philippines? Costs supposed to be done at age 50. It's funny that you mentioned that. I just saw that the other day on a sign, and I think it was about $400, $440. It was on a sign coming back from Manila, and it said colonoscopy, and it said, it was. I know I made it up in my head when I added it all up because I do. It was like $240, I think it was, which is a good price, and I think you have to stay there for a day or two, also, unless they give you like the package so you have to do everything. Some places here will keep you in there for like a day or two. So Alan Ricky says radiate love when you are among people. Don't know when it's the last time. Michael L says only reason Davao is safe is due to House Duterte keeping an iron lid on the place. Probably. Robert Mindanao says, Lazy Larry, I'll try to post another video soon. Let's see. Brian H says, will there be mid-June for a let's see. Will there be a mid-June for a few weeks? Behold, Boracay and Siquijor on itinerary this trip, plus a few days in Manila. Try to visit new places, islands every trip. That's cool. Lazy Larry Lee says, Robert Mindanao, looking forward to it. Steve Ford's on board. He says, hi, Steve. What are your thoughts on investor's visa? I know about it, but I don't know that much about it, okay? So I really couldn't comment on it. I think you have to have 50,000 or above or something like that. And I know you're thinking about coming over here. I think you talked to me about this, if I remember right. I'm trying to remember what you told me. Anyway, yeah, it's okay for some people. Marlon Gibson says, okay, Kenneth Miller, which state level government office apostles documents? The state capital, the state secretary. Okay, so you go to your state capital and you look for the state secretary's office, and you go there. Marlon Gibson says, I'll ask Mary. Okay, if you need her information, just send me an email and I'll answer you usually within 24 to 48 hours. There you go. Have a nice day. Says Davao is one of the safest cities in the Philippines. Yes, it is. Northern Philippines is fine and safe. The roads going to GSC and Davao going south is not safe. The roads to CDO and Iligan are safe. Yes, there are places that are sketchy around there, so just be careful leaving that area. Let's see. I am not a big fan for living in NCR. Makati to gig is the only areas I would personally consider living. Those are expensive areas. You know, Alabang is nice too, Craig. You may want to actually look at Alabang. Alabang is just as nice as Makati and all those places. See, Sinful says, Craig Jordan, BGC is good also. BGC is very good. Yeah, Alabang's very nice. Michael L says, Steve Ford, investors visa is, it's 75K. I thought it was 50K. If you're over 50, do SRRV for 20K US dollars. Unless you're in the military, you were in the military, you can get it cheaper. You can even get it cheaper than that with a pension for 10K. Depends on your situation. If you have a DD 214, you can get it for like about 3,000 total, everything included. Bradley Green says U.S. car and motorcycle license will convert to same Philippine license. Yes, it will. At least mine did. He says at least mine did. Yes. I think if you ask for it, some of the people are telling me that if you ask for it, they'll put it on there. I've never heard that. I'm not really sure of that. I think you have to check it off or something. But I'll have to ask the lady, because I go up to LTO every once in a while. I'll ask the lady more questions, because every time I talk to somebody, I get a different answer, even at the LTO sometimes, which is kind of strange. Sinful says, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. That's my email, guys. Michael L says, Pasay is nice. Barangay 76, right by the bay. Steve Ford, Michael, it won't qualify on SRRV as I don't have a pension. Oh, okay, I got you. You can still do it with 20,000 for the SRRV. Just put down 20,000 in your security account. You can get that out if you have a leave. And it says, I am over 50, ex-British military, thus investor is an option. If you're ex-British military, then Steve, then you should be able to. Oh no, you can't because of the pension issue. Okay, thus investor is an option. How the money must be invested. Sinfuls, Bradley Green, correct. Marlon Gibson says, I sent you an email yesterday. Okay. Marlon, I haven't checked my email from yesterday, and I haven't answered them yesterday because we've been going through a lot here at the channel. We've been answering all kinds of people lately on a lot of different things, and then I went up to Manila the other day, and so I haven't had a chance to catch up. Tomorrow's gonna be my catch-up day. Lynn says, good day to all. Sinful says, Steve Ford, you can buy a condo like mine, LOL. Actually, Sinful's condo is not that bad. It's a nice little condo. I liked it. It's small, but it has a nice, beautiful pool downstairs and everything too, and it's nice and it's pretty. It's like a pretty secure place. Michael Onset says, when is the next group event? Michael, we'll be planning that probably sometime this week. I'm hoping I'll probably start contacting people. We're probably going to do Mamma Mia's at Evian Mall. If I can contact them and see if they'll take us all as a bunch, we'll see. I'm going to talk to them and see what they say. Marlon Gibson says, ex-military, honorable discharge. So you should be all set. If you're over 50 and you got a pension of over 1,000, Marlon, you're all set. You can call me if you want. Just send me an email, ask me for my phone number. Sinful says, at Michael L, that where my condo is. Ax says, Steve, wondering what is the budgets of your expat circle. Wow. The average person in my expat circle probably is over $2,000, believe it or not. For the average person, we have a few people that are less than that, but I would say the average person is 2,000 or more. Almost every single one of them, except for maybe just a couple, one or two that I can think of right in my direct circle here and outside. I think most of the guys that go to the thing, that go to our dinners and stuff like that, I think they're probably in the same region, somewhere around there. Marlon Gibson says it's all good. Steve Ford, Sinfuls, we have land, buying more land, building a house next. We want to build apartments also. Michael L. Steve, no pension yet, and I never served. Don't want to wait until I take Social Security. We'll work remotely unless I am lucky enough to find a U.S. job that will assign me as a FAM. Okay. Let's see. Marlon Gibson, you answer most of my questions today. Okay, Marlon. Good. Sinful says, Steve Ford, sounds great. Michael L., fam, foreigner assigned to Manila. Okay, I gotcha. Just stuffing things. So I talked to my girlfriend in Salai. Not sure about anywhere else, but her brother works at the license place, and he said just transfer it over both car and motorcycle, and you need to do an eye exam. I go there with these guys, and even the eye exam is kind of funky because I told the lady, I said, you want me to read the bottom? Because I could read the bottom with my glasses. And what was funny is she goes, can you read the fourth line? I says, yeah, you want me to read it? She goes, no, if you can read the bottom, you can read the fourth. And she just gave it to me. I was like, okay. I was actually quite surprised. So I was like, all right, that sounds good to me, but I could read it all, so I didn't have a problem, but I think if you ask to have the scooter put on there or something like that, I think they'll put it on it, but don't quote me on that, okay? Mo Weems says Malaysia is just dropped the U.S. dollar and China is backing Asian Monetary Fund. Is this the beginning or the end for U.S. domino effect all over Asia? I was reading about that today a lot, and there are a lot of countries that are jumping on with that BRIC stuff, but the BRICs they're all in trouble. They're all having issues too. So I don't think this is going to be, I think they're going to cause more problems for themselves in the end. China just stopped selling us rare earth metals too. So it looks like they're getting on war footing now, a lot of these countries. And I think China did that thing with the BRICS to see who's going to jump on board with them if we go to war. And keep that in mind, because all those countries that are BRICS and that are jumping on with the BRICS are probably going to be allies with China. That's just my thoughts. Michael L. says there are quite a bit of remote jobs in network engineering, database administration, penetrating program, etc. C code run, damn it, run. Okay. Just stuffing things works for me. LOL. Thank you. 1 million says plenty of great places to live in Manila. I'm in Araneta. I highly recommend being close to MRT station. No. Steve Ford says, Sinfuls, we have local workers who worked in Antique for us. They will come next year to work for us when we have our next land titled. Lynn says, 1 million, I agree. Sinful says, Steve Ford, good to hear. 6T2 says, hey, Steve, it's Steve, originally from Rhode Island. Nice to be here. Thanks, man. Welcome aboard. J. David Music says, World Zoom mentioned you can get an international driver's license. Yes, you can. That is good in the Philippines. It's only good for a year, I believe. So you have a valid license when you step foot on soil. Your license is good for 90 days here anyway, okay? And then after that, you should try to get a new license here. Steve Jordan, the Philippine Info Channel, China currency is only 3% of the trade reserve. Yes. That's why I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. De-dollarization is a type of hype so far. Yes, it is. I read that today, but they did mention in the first article I read that this could be bad and it could cause problems for the U.S. later on, depending on who jumps on board. And that's the scary part. And I don't think China is going to sit by. They're going to try to devalue the dollar and just try to kill the dollar as much as they can, which I'm not sure they can. Gene Lamb says, Steve, what's that about 3,000 for military, did you say a minute ago? For the SRRV, Gene, it costs $1,400 for the application fee and $1,500 for the security deposit if you're 50 and older and you have at least $1,000 pension. Okay, it's about $3,000 total, everything. Okay, that's for the SRRV retirement visa. Okay, Sinful says, Craig Jordan, Michael L. After a year of international license, you still need to go to a LTO to get the Philippine license. Exactly, that's true. There you go. Have a nice day. AAA does an international license, simple to do at your local AAA office. Again, remember what Michael said, though. It's only good for a year. Marlon Gibson says, do I need to be retired from the military and a former officer in the military for the expanded courtesy? Do I need to be retired from the military? No, you do not. You just need to be retired, period. Okay, and you don't need to be an officer. You can be, although it says that on there, it's not an officer, okay? So no issues. Craig Jordan says, what they want to do doesn't mean they can do it. No, you are correct. Saturn 60 says, I'm turning 35. What locations would you recommend to have a social life with other expats under 50? Not a fan of Cebu expats. Wow, Saturn 60. That's a tough one. Um, Under 50. Siargao. Siargao has a lot of people there under 50. Okay, that'd be like the only area I would recommend. It's kind of like a surfing spot down there. You might want to look it up. That's the only place I can think of. There's probably others out there too, but I know Siargao is one of them. Sinful says, at Craig Jordan, China's economy is in shambles. Yes, it is, definitely. Lynn says, at Saturn 60 Cavite area, Laguna, Baguio. I like it here, and we have a few people here that are younger. We've had a couple of expats come in here that were in their 20s. You know, we celebrated the guy's birthday from Texas Roadhouse. We have a good group here. We accept all ages. You know, so Sinful says yes, Siargao, but find a concrete house. LOL. Yes. Quantum Leap says research S686 restrict bill deals with digital funds in foreign countries. Very important. Craig Jordan says, at Sinfuls, I would be wary of all the death of America stories. I think the United States is definitely in a downward spiral right now, Craig. And I study this quite a lot, and I'm not reading people that are doing conspiracy stuff and things like that. It's mainstream news, and it's good news sources, you know, and like the BBC, all sorts of news sources are out there, and they're all talking about it. I mean, America is a kind of a mess right now, let's face it. Michael L. says, there are several channels that expose the crap going on in China. Serpent ZA and LAOY 86 lived in China for 10 years and got out by the skin of their teeth. China Uncensored is good also. Yes, I like China Uncensored. He's really good. Pork Adobo says, what's your thought on EDCA in the Philippines, Steve? Wow, I think it's gonna. I think over the long term, it's a good thing. I think it's good for the Philippines. I think it's good for everybody here. I think it's good for the expats. Let's face it, it's needed. You know. So, there you go. Have a nice day. I have my sister renew my international license 5 times while in Korea. Just have to have a picture taken the size of a passport. Send it to her. All done. Sinful. That flying around you thought was on my laptop. LOL. Michael L. says the States is having issues right now due to the far right and far left who out party above country. Steve Force says, Steve, we recently looked at title land, asked agent to provide copy of title for 3 months. Vendor had pawned the land for 150,000 peso and had to pay this to get the title back. That was in Palawan. That's crazy. There's a lot of that goes on. A lot of people get scammed and ripped off in property stuff, you know. Michael S. says, damn phone keyboard and autocorrect issues. They put party above country. I think, yeah, that's the problem in the U.S. today compared to back in during the Reagan years when people would reach across the aisle and shake hands and say, hey, let's try to meet halfway in the middle, or let's get this done. You know what I mean? If it was something that helped the country, they're all about getting it done rather than letting all these special interests and stuff like that get involved. But we're not talking politics, so try to stay away from that stuff. Sorry, Case, are rents going up in your area due to increase of expats moving? No, I hear it's happening in Dumaguete probably, but not here. We still have many places below 100. Many. Sinfuls, those days are gone. Craig Jordan, the Philippine Info Channel, it's multi-vector world reality today. That's the decline of the U.S. influence, in my opinion. We have to share it now with competitors. Let's see, we are at 49 minutes. We got 107 people. We got 64 thumbs up. Let's see if we can get some more talk on here, guys. Come on, throw some more chat up there so we can get rolling here. Let's see. Let's go, guys. We got dead air. Let's see. We got 108 people, 65 thumbs up. Let's get some more thumbs up on there, guys. Let's see what's going on with this. Give me a second here, guys. Let's get some more chat up there. There we go. Sinful says, so I have not received any emails about my condo. That's crazy, Sinfuls. Sinfuls just put up a video the other night we did a video of his condo to try to either sell it or rent it. I'm surprised he hasn't got it because I've seen some of the emails. People are a little bit interested in it too. Sorry, Case. What is your plan today? My plan today? I'm not really sure I have a plan. Freedom Finder says Bitcoin. Cindy G says thumbs up. Thanks, Cindy G. Jeff McCune, video DJ. The Breeze condo review looked interesting. I'm hoping that we can get that rented or sold for Sinville's because it is a nice place and it has a beautiful view too. That's what I liked about it, you know. Tom BKK, you're right, Steve. Reagan looked interesting. Let's see what he just took it out. Okay, message retracted. It says. I think he said something about Reagan. Joe Cunningham, we can use my sister's address when we move to the Philippines. Sorry, Case Sinfuls, how much is rent and where? I think it's he got it up for like 500. It's in Pasay at the Breeze Residences, and it overlooks the bay. You couldn't ask for a better view. I'm telling you, at night that place must be spectacular. You know, and it's right in Pasay, and it's like I don't know, like 34 floors up or something like that. I think it is. Quantum Leap says, "What's the story on the high rise in Cebu that was on fire?" I saw it. I have videos of that, like a time lapse video. A friend of mine did a time lapse video on that Quantum Leap. If you were on my Facebook, I could actually send it to you. Let's see. Sorry, Case, I am asking. This is Sinful speaking. He's asking 25K. PHP includes all utilities. That's why I say it's a good deal. 35th floor. I'm sorry. Sorry, Case. Thank you, Steve Ford. Steve, we are looking at setting up riding stables here. I know not common with the Trek, etc. Your thoughts? I know you're trying to set up something that's like all natural, all. I think you're gonna have a hard time with that, Steve, in the Philippines. That's my thoughts. From talking to you in the past, I know you want to do everything like all natural, all wood, no plastic, stuff like that. I think you're gonna really be spending a lot more money than you have to here. I think you could. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. When you told me that, I was like really surprised because that's gonna cost a lot of money. Tom BKK, you're right, Steve. Reagan and Tip O'Neill used to work together, even though so different. Yes, they were. And Tip O'Neill was phenomenal. Even though he was on the other side of the aisle, I actually liked the guy because he did reach out and he did work. He was about the country, even the same as Reagan. Quantum Leap says, okay, Alfred C, do expats in your group prefer house, condo, or house? Most people here prefer an apartment. Most of the places around here are all apartments, and some of them do prefer houses, the ones that have more money, or condos. But most of the ones around me, they're all in places like mine. RLV says the majority of PH are okay with EDCA keeps China in check. Michael L, I would avoid Dumaguete as it is probably more expensive in terms of both rent and relationship expenses due to lots of expats there going there for 18 and 25 crowd. Yes, I think Dumaguete is kind of passé now, to be honest. From what I'm hearing from everybody that goes down there, they all, and I just actually talked to one of the expats tonight, and he's changed his mind about down there because he's heard a lot of stories now too. And plus there's some serious issues going on down there too, I heard. Pork adobo in the Philippines. But Steve, for me as a Filipino, U.S. is still the greatest country. Every country has some issues. I agree 100% pork adobo, but I mean, there are some big issues that are really dragging it down. I love the U.S., and don't get me wrong about that. I love the country. You know, 007 says de-dollarization of world economy happening faster than anticipated. That's not totally true. If you read the most recent articles, it says everyone brace ourselves for ramifications. Most of those were smaller countries and stuff like that pretty much didn't deal with the U.S. anyway, and don't really. It was like I think they said 16 countries last I heard or something jumped on with the BRICS or something, and they were all tiny countries, so it's not a big deal. In Brazil, those countries are already all together doing all kinds of chicanery on their own already. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. From the last articles I read, not happening, I don't think. Craig Jordan, because if you start doing that to the U.S., then you're going to start having problems. If you bring down the U.S., it's going to bring down those other countries, including the BRIC countries too, probably. we'll go into a world, a big spin for sure. Tom BKK, poker games every Wednesday makes political enemies into friends. There we go. Let's see. 108, 79 thumbs up, guys. We're almost up to 55 minutes. And Santistaban says, hi from Philippines and Palawan. Sorry to hear that, Steve Ford. You have to look for a lawyer for the legitimate of land. Yes. Mike Akulian says, I sent a Filipina. I just met her online. I just sent her 100,000 pesos to start a tilapia pond. Yeah. Smart move. Mark Schaefer, speaking of fire in the high rise, do they typically have sprinklers in the high rises? I know that they don't have enough because that place was burning like crazy, and you could actually watch it burn down through the floors. Because I saw the time lapse. I have the time lapse. If anybody wants it, they can just they can go on my. If you're on my Facebook, I'll send it to you. Just ask me. Sorry, Case, do you still have a contact to help with SRRV? Yes, I do. Sorry, Case, if you need it, you can email me at Steven with a V 5975 at yahoo.com, and I will send it to you within 24 to 48 hours. Probably tomorrow you'll probably get it. Michael L, was Tip O'Neill your rep back in the 80s? Yes, he was from Massachusetts. Yep. Carefree Chris, wow, don't think I ever cut one of lives. Nice, good to see you on here, Carefree Chris. It's good to see you on our lives. We try to do this every Saturday. Every once in a while I'll take a night off, or if something comes up or whatever. Steve Ford, and we have a lawyer. When we check the documents for ourselves, we then give them to check. Okay. Marlon Gibson says, average search time for looking for a condo? Here, probably about 2 hours, 2 to 4 hours. We can usually find you one for a decent, a decent one if you're really picky. Maybe a whole day. Sometimes 2 or 3 days if you're really, really picky. Jeff McCune, video DJ. I'm staying in condo around the corner from the Breeze property. Could I come and check it out? Did you hear that, Sinfuls? Jeff McCune, video DJ. I'm staying in a condo around the corner from the Breeze. He wants to look out at your condo. So, if you need any info, I can give you that info too. Also, you can look inside the video. In the description, it has his information. Okay, Jeff? Michael L says, even if U.S. was doing better and I was happy here, let's see, I would still want to go to other places and see what is out there. I feel the same way, Michael. U.S. gets old after a while. Sinfuls just checked. I did get a email. Okay, good. That's awesome, man. RLV, and am missing your Indians. I love Indian motorcycles. I mean, I got pictures around here and tin signs of Indian motorcycles, all kinds of stuff. Tom's away. Are you messing with remote control cars or drones? I haven't actually had a chance. I wish I did. I might actually do that tomorrow for some fun. Either tomorrow, actually probably Monday, I'll probably do it. I love my remote control cars and I love my remote control helicopter. I just haven't had time. Sinful says, at Jeff McCoon, video DJ, yes. Email me at breezecondo@yahoo.com and we can set that up. Let's see, Dickie Spaz says, look where Brazil's monetary policy has them. Complete disaster. I agree. There's, those countries, I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference. And I'm not sure why these other countries want to jump on there, with the exception of they want to probably kiss China's butt or whatever, but that's, on them. Let's see, Craig Jordan says, Michael L. agree, travel is better than any classroom or online course learning about the world around us. Let's see, Bangalore Bengals, we're going to war with China eventually. I tend to agree with that. Philippines is awfully close, and buddy with the USA, I would be worried to come. I think it's going to be safe here except for the bases, Mike Akulian, an Air Force veteran after the Persian Gulf War, I had orders to go to Clark Air Force Base right before volcano strength reduction afterwards. Let's see. Sinful says, yes. Sinful says, I hear. Sent him message above. Okay. Jeff McCoon, yep, sorry, private messaging, thanks. Porcadobo says, I'm glad, Steve, that you noticed the constructions in Manila. There are many projects under construction in Manila. I'm actually going to be talking more about that, guys, about the construction at some point, because I've seen huge changes here almost to where I think we're heading to, like, almost like we were back in the U.S. a while back. I think financially people are getting a lot better too. I mean, I see it myself around me. I went to Panda Express down in Tanza. Everybody's sitting there and they're eating with their families, and everybody's well to do. That mall is a very nice, beautiful mall. And let me tell you something. There was a lot of people buying goods. I see them walking with bags in their hands and stuff. Um, Wealth is coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's changing here. Carefree Chris says, I just bought a Hunter 350 waiting on the registration, which takes months here in Cebu City. And Tistaban says, that's good to hear, Steve. You did a good choice of place. Living in a province is way better than living in Manila. I think Tracy Martinez gets thought of kind of as a province, but it really, and part of it is, it's really kind of weird. If you go on one side of the town, it's all built up with these houses and row houses and stuff like that. And you come to where we are, and the street I live on, even though it's a busy street, it's really kind of funky here, because you go down back here, it's all woods and jungle. We have snakes and spiders and rare birds and Philippine fairy bluebirds, and we have a red parrot down back. We had a crested bird with a blackbird with a red crest on top the other day. We had some really crazy birds around here lately that I've been noticing. And Santistaban says, let's see, it's the same thing. MVG says, what up, Dickie? That's for his shout out. There you go. See, Dickie getting shout outs tonight. That's good to see. So let's see here. We're up to 61 minutes, guys. We can go a little bit longer if we can get some more stuff up on here. There we go. 007 says they be playing Sim City in Manila. WITJ, those Bay Townships they're creating over there. LOL. Marlon Gibbs says, any city you recommend for couples? For couples? You know, BGC is nice, and like I said, Alabang. If you're looking for really nice places, those are nice places. Makati, even Pasay, where Sinful has his place there. That's not a bad little area around there. I looked around there. I didn't think it was that bad. It's actually fairly reasonable. It has a nice view. It has a small deck you can stand on out back and check out the view at night. It's kind of beautiful there, but it's small. I will say it's small, but it's nice. It's cute, and it's got a pool. So I mean, during the day you don't have to be stuck in the apartment. You get out to the pool. You can sit downstairs. There's tons of places you can sit in there, all around there, and talk to other people and stuff like that. There's places to go. It's a beautiful little place. I think it's well worth the $500 with all utilities included. Lloyd White says, lived in Mexico but never had propane gas in my homes due to explosions. Is that the same in the PH? Almost everybody has propane gas here. Dickie Spaz says, hello, MVG. Carefree Chris says, Cebu City is great. Centrally located. Love it here. Sinful says, my sunset views are amazing. Yes, I can imagine. Lightning351 says, hello, Stephen. Just jumped in the room. You notice anyone worried about the possibility of China invading? I think everybody is kind of, because it was in the news a lot this past weekend. Not just a little bit too. It was really all over the place. Also on YouTube too. Blocked E-Runner says, should I shave before departure? Probably. I should probably shave before I come on here, for that matter. But I didn't today. Kind of on the weekends. It's a weekend, so. Joshua, anyone have recommendations of an immigrant agency in Cebu City? I'm not that familiar with any down there. They have JRC and stuff like that, but I if you guys are looking to do SRRVs, contact me, please, because I can help you. Don't be going to any of these other agencies out there. Call me and I can get it done for free. You just need the normal amount of money. You don't have to pay that extra $1,000 or anything like that. Trust me. Let's see. Carefree Chris says, Joshua, yeah, JRC next to Ayala. Tom's Away says, do new U.S. credit cards get mailed to you there after they expire? It depends on your company. I would have them mailed to an address back home and then have them mail them over here, okay? Because if you have them mailed over here, a lot of these companies will shut off your credit card. Just keep that in mind. Do not have them sent over here. Mike D says, do they have rentals with your own pool? How much would that be? Mike D, Sinfuls is actually has a pool, but not with a private pool. If that's what you're asking about. If you're asking about places with private pools, Yes, they have them, but they're really expensive. You're talking probably as much as you'd pay back home for a place, 1,500 to 2,000 probably if it has a private pool. Sinful's on YouTube to grab views about Taiwan. Blockade Runner says, I heard that you should. Dickie Spaz says, don't worry, Sleepy Joe will not lift a finger if Taiwan is invaded. Hector Gabut says, can you show some rentals inside Ayala Alabang village? I'm trying to remember. I think I did something in Alabama. I'm not sure. No, I didn't. I went there and I looked at a place though. But we weren't able to get inside, but we were able to look around the grounds because they didn't have the key to get inside the place. We were gonna do one in Alabang. It might have been that place too. Cindy G says, "Do you think us expats should stay here if China starts a war to take Taiwan?" Cindy, I don't think that they're gonna really bother the Philippines. I think it's just all about reuniting with Taiwan. I don't think they're gonna go on a if they go crazy and start going after the Philippines, then it's going to be really, really rough on China, I think, and that could cause a nuclear war. I think it's all about Taiwan, and I think honestly that at some point the U.S. is going to have to say, well, how much of a cost do we want to spend on this thing? That's the thing, So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out. If they do go into the Philippines, then it's all out war, and there's no backing down for any country. Joe Cunningham is planning to move to the Philippines after the U.S. presidential election. And that's just to get back to what you're saying about Taiwan, just think about that. If they stay in Taiwan, just Taiwan, as soon as we spend a certain amount of money, the U.S. might just fold. But you never know. We'll see when that happens. Josh says, do 44-year-old military vets qualify for SRRV? No. Sinful Cindy G, I wouldn't leave here. I probably wouldn't leave here either. To do so would be to abandon my wife and dog. Not happening. I agree with Sinfuls, actually, on that. I don't think I would leave here. And I like it here. Michael L. says, I disagree. Biden will fight the Chinese in Taiwan. I think at some point, though, Michael, it might come down to money. Lynn says, I don't think the Americans have the fight in them anymore. They just don't. I think the country is changed from like the way it was back in the 80s and 90s and stuff. I think the country has changed. Lynn says, Ayala, Alabang, Las Piñas, Zapote, there is so much traffic because of its small roads. Marlon Gibson says, I am about to worry you to death about getting a SRRV for me and my wife in about 1.5 years. Don't worry about it, man. You'll get it. Michael L. says he has to TCMC chip factory. Yeah, they could bomb that though. I mean, if it comes down to, they could just destroy it. But yeah, then they just leave the Taiwanese people there, which is kind of unfortunate. You have to remember, a lot of people there that are in Taiwan also believe that China should be reunited too. So keep that in mind. I think it's not 50%, but it's pretty high up there sometimes. It depends when they take the polls there. Sinful says, wait a second. Lightning 351 says, Steven, how's your health been? Keep healthy out there. Actually, my health has been doing pretty good. My cellulitis is 100% gone, and my legs are almost mint condition to where they were before. Not quite. They're at about 90. They're 90% better. But the doctor that I had, the skin doctor, wasn't the one that healed it. It was actually my regular doctor down the street that I pay $6 for. She healed it. So kudos to her, because she's a really, really good doctor. Gary Harris says, do you have a place to do U.S. taxes? Gary, I went through this the other day with H&R Block, and they sucked. That was online. Next year I'm going to do it with one of the ladies back there that I know at H&R Block, and I'm just going to have her do it. If I have to send her the stuff personally, I'll do it. Michael L. TSMC Lynn says, Sinfuls, yep, it's my childhood town. Michael L., as far as getting credit cards, there are professional remailing services available. Yes, you can do it that, but you're best to have like a family member and not using, if you use those professional remailing services, their address is a flag, and it tells the credit card company that you're using them, Michael. So be careful about giving that advice, because those places are a red flag for places. They know those addresses, and if you do have that, it's not a real address they consider, and they'll shut off your card. Jab, hi there from Jim. I'm 50 from the UK. Mike D, Biden is weak, and unfortunately we have a culture in the military that isn't like it used to be. Dems have destroyed a lot. Yes, they have. Blockade Runner says, I'm bringing cephalexin. Sinfuls, I used TurboTax, had 0 issues, already received my refund. See, my taxes are a little bit different than Sinfuls because I have the business over here, so it really makes it a little bit more difficult. Let's see, Dickie Spaz, 8 billion TSMC chip factory under construction in North Phoenix right now. I heard that, and when that gets built, that'll be phenomenal, but I'm sure that place will be a target too. So, Simple says, so far I've had 0 issues using my remailing address for all my credit cards and banks. That's good, if you know. But they are flagging those sinfuls. They are flagging some of those because I heard them stop. They stopped a few cards. Somebody called me up and told me that they stopped his card because the address was flagged or whatever. So be careful about that. And I know they keep track of not mailbox etc., but the UPS stores and stuff like that. So if you use that as an address, and somebody won't put the UPS store, but they make it look like an address, and they pick up on that. They pick up on. I know banks, credit cards, what else? Also, Ameritrade, loan companies. They all flag those places now. Let's see, we're up to 71 minutes, 108 people are on board, and we got 89 thumbs up, guys. Let's get some more chat going on here. We're at the last one right now. So if we can keep on going here, I'll keep it going tonight. Let's see here. But to get back on that chip factory, I think they're going to have to protect that somehow. Maybe put a missile system around there or something. Jab, can you buy properties in PH to renovate and sell on? You can buy condos over here. You can't buy homes unless it's on leased property. So keep that in mind. Okay? Unless you put it in a Philippine wife's name or something like that. And why would you do that? Sinfuls at Jab, if houses a citizen would need to buy. I mean, if you're solid with your wife and you've been with her for 20 years or something like that, I could see doing that, I suppose. But I'd be really careful, or have a lawyer write it up so that you're protected somewhat. Michael L, not a UPS or mailboxes. I am referring to virtual offices. Okay. I think some of those are the same things, though. It's very similar. If they see too many addresses, Michael, that's the problem. If they see too many of the addresses, then they flag it. So, just remember that. So those, even though might not be red flagged now, they will be later probably. You're talking about LLCs, S corps. All right, I see what you're saying. That might be different. But then if you're having a private credit card sent to a LLC or S corp or something like that, I'm not sure that would fly too. I'm not sure. I don't know. That's something I'm not that knowledgeable about, but maybe not. Dickie Spaz says Luke Air Force Base is close by. Okay. Mark Richards says May 10th, Social Security will call my phone at 11 a.m. to set up my retirement with them. They want my banking information. I should be at around $3,600 a month gross. Is it doable? Absolutely. You're right at around the place where I'm at right now. I'm right around that amount, plus or minus $400 any month. So Michael L says it would at least work for my business credit cards, maybe not the personal side. It probably would. But keep in mind, it could get flagged. If there's a lot of people using those addresses, they know. Marlon Gibson says, where a pharmacy at? We have pharmacies all over the place here, Marlon, if that's what you're asking. I'm not sure. We have like about 3 or 4 of them right around the neighborhood here, Sinful says, Marlon Gibson, in city areas everywhere. They're all over the place, just like Sinful says. Let's see. We're coming up on about 75 minutes, guys. If you guys want to keep going, we keep it going. Otherwise, I'm going to call it an evening here. There we go. Let's see. Sinful says, I have 4 within 5 minutes. Okay. Dickie Spaz, all property we have bought in the penis have been titled in my wife and our son's name. That's cool. So, if you're solid with your wife, and a lot of people know whether they are or they're not, You know what I mean? Then that's good. Dos Bagos says, I know a lot of potential expats are getting burned out by the hundreds of new vloggers and ones never on the radar before. I know a lot of potential expats are getting burned. I don't think so. I don't think they get. I know some of the older ones are getting burned out on, from what I hear, because they repeat what rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, and it keeps doing the same thing over. I think a lot of people are changing now. I hope I brought some newness to the vloggers, because I try to keep things different than what they're doing, and I don't even watch them because it that way it keeps me from thinking like about the stuff that they do. I want my stuff to be my own material. When you watch other people, it kind of makes you think like them, and I don't like to watch other vloggers for that reason alone. And it's nothing against them. I'm friends with some of them, but I mean, it just keeps me fresh. Michael L says, Marlon, Mercury and Watson's, you can get anything from, even Tramadol. Everything I asked for, I received without formal RX. Yes, in most cases. Joshua, I worry as I have digital nomad job. Back USA, some said I can get in trouble in PH for working it. Joshua, with immigration. You probably want to talk, if you're going to be doing a digital nomad job over here, you'd need to do the SRRV visa in order to work over here. That's what I do, and I'm allowed to work here with the vlog, of course. Joshua with immigration. Let's see, Michael L. Marlon says, Michael L., thanks. Mark Schaefer, Steve, I think you are keeping your channel fresh. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's hard keeping it fresh after you've done 1,300 videos, let me tell you. We are going to start repeating some of the other videos again soon, here and there. And I want people to get burned out when they're watching me. So if you see something you don't like, just turn on the next night. I'll be talking about other stuff. We are going to be talking about Japan pretty soon, I think, because Japan's getting really interesting lately. Mark Schaefer says, let's see. No, Sinful says, I watch quite a few. Most are good. Some I watch one time, and that is it. Not liking their content. Michael L says, Joshua, if the job is registered in the U.S., it should be fine. However, that is if you are living there. The SRRV or 13A investment visa is better. Yes. Let's see. Joshua, I am 44 though. Mike Rodka says, Steve, I love the channel. Truly appreciate your honesty, openness, and transparency as you share these important topics. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Dickie Spaz says, this is a well-run channel. I wouldn't change a thing. No, Dickie, we're not going to change anything. We're still going to keeping on with our contributors, which we do. I'm going to keep on talking about different subjects outside of the normal expat stuff, but stuff that's relevant to expats. Okay, and we're going to still run deep in some of the subjects that some other people do cover, but we go deeper into it, which is kind of fun to do. Dickie Spaz says, this is what, let's see, no, Cindy G says, it is fresh. I like the therapy parts too. Yes, please discuss Japan culture. I'm not going to discuss their culture, but what's going on up there. There's a lot of stuff coming out of Japan that should interest expats that are interested in the China thing, because they're up and coming country military, and they're being allowed to, which before they had things written into their constitution or whatever it was, and they had deals with the U.S. that they could only have so much military, but the U.S. is allowing them more leeway because of China now. So let's see. Marlon Gibson is just worried about wife health since she's diabetic. Michael L. Japan is a nice place, even though some places there are expensive. Michael L. says, Marlon, metformin is readily available. Yes. Easy to get. I actually got right here. So, because I'm pre-diabetic, but actually right now I'm fully under control, so that's good, but I still take it. Nomad Overseas, afternoon all, missed the notification earlier. Marlon Gibson and have other health issues. Dos Bago says, would it be better to have newer Windows laptop or Chromebook there just for personal use? Yes. Best to have an updated computer over here, always. Craig Jordan says, Sinfuls, it's about the views. A thumbnail with the young Philippine is immediate clickbait. Yes. That's something we try to stay away from. Once in a while, we'll put somebody in there, but it's not really for the clickbait. It's just kind of fun to put other people in there, 007 says, a revolving door when it comes to YouTube vloggers going over there. There's like one new every week. It's true. And there's a lot of up and coming ones that are actually doing really well too. Simple says that Craig Jordan, yes, LOL. Joshua says yes, registered in U.S. I have a U.S. address, aka parents, but love PH and plan on staying here. Kevin Nash's Kitchen, you need to find a place that the Navy is going to be frequenting and go build you a little American food restaurant. Cash in. Tony Ferrello says, let's see, how do you keep your cash that you bring with you and like your important paperwork such as your passport safe when you go swimming or whatever? I have a safe. I have a small safe. Sometimes if I feel I'm going to be away for a while, I'll take most of my stuff with me in a bag or something like that. And my bag's pretty safe on my back. I'll carry it in my front. I put it right on my chest. Tom BKK, your most of my money's in the bank though, so it's just my passport stuff. Your investment and budget videos are always interesting. Your opinions on healthcare is always appreciated. The healthcare we try to talk about a lot because it's probably the most important. The budget stuff I don't talk about as much because people like it and they hit it, but a lot of people get pissed because everybody talks about it all the time. So, let's see. Michael L says Dos Bagos Windows is better since Chromebook has to be online. Nix is even better choice. Jab says with me turning 50, I would like a SRRV, but I don't have a pension yet. I've another 19 years to work before pension. I have my house to sell for capital. I like new venture online business. You can still come over here, but you have to put $20,000 down then for that. Okay. Jeff H says I'm a big beef eater. Where's the beef? Is it good quality? Available? It's not expensive. Yes, you can go to Rare Meats. Rare Meats. Either it's Rare Foods or Rare Meats in Manila. You can look it up online. I've actually ordered from them, and the meat is phenomenal. Okay, you can also take home cuts of meat also from Texas Roadhouse if you're interested. Uncooked, they have them out front. They'll wrap it for you. Leonard Lund says hi from Houston, Texas. A nomad overseas says Dos Bagos. If you have an Android phone, it can be also worth picking up a docking cradle so you can connect phone to screen TV with keyboard and mouse. Might get you out of a jam if laptop fails. MVG says my first time listening to your shares, mad proper. Thanks MVG. Simple says at Jeff H, you can find good beef in grocery stores. Yes, you can. Some grocery stores. But if you want a good steak, you can find Australian beef in delis. SNR also and Landers also. Mark Schaefer, any progress on Medicare in the Philippines? I haven't had a chance to talk to the guy that usually does that. He hasn't got back to me recently. I'm probably going to do another follow-up on that probably within the next month or two with him. We'll see where he stands. Mike D. Steve, you're saying Filipinos have their own separate issues. What issues do you think differ from the many women in the U.S.? They're just the cultural issues are the biggest ones. I think, also a lot of guys over here have a lot more issues during breakups, things like that. There's a whole slew of issues that it just, but mostly the cultural issues. There's big cultural issues over here that are so different than the women in the U.S. There really are. I mean, when you date them, you see these issues come up every once in a while. They think differently. They complain about things differently. They get mad easier on some things. So those are the things that I could go on and on, but I want to get too much into it tonight. Let's see. Simple says, Craig Jordan, okay. Mark Richard, hey, Steve, do you still wear that cooling fan around your neck? I haven't seen it in a while when you're outside. Do you still like it? I actually have it. It's right here. It's charging. I use it all the time. Let me see. I have IBS. Is water same to consume? I don't know what IBS is. Water over here, you can't drink out of the faucet. I know that. If that's what you're asking. Dickie Spaz says, where's the beef? Sinful says, Marion Gibson, filtered water is cheap. I pay $80 for a 5-gallon bottle. At Nomad overseas, is it possible to get 3-month rental on condo and apartments there? Yes, some places. Most I've stayed at there has been for a month, but maybe longer in future. Is 6-month minimum rental or 3-month? They usually want 6 months, but you can, for condos but apartments you can get them for like 3 months sometimes. Matt Z, how's the weather there? It was 90 degrees out yesterday in sunny North Brookfield, Massachusetts. There you go. Let's see. Michael L says also you can take an old laptop and put Chrome OS Flex on it, and you will have a Chromebook without having to buy new hardware. There you go. Kevin Nash's Kitchen says the vlogger was showing new mall area stores and restaurants around Angeles City. Big sporting goods store, very nice. Denny's and a steak place, all new. Gary Harris says jealousy biggest. Yes. There's a lot of jealousy issues with girls over here. They think that you're cheating on them or something like that. That's most of the guys. That's the biggest one that guys tell me about. Michael L says IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Okay, yes, that's from the water. Okay, I got you now. Now I get it. Marlon Gibson. Let's see. He says the same thing. Renee Jimenez, is jealousy or family more of a problem there? Yes, there are a lot of family issues too that people complain about too. So, I mean, when I was with my girlfriend, I really didn't have the family issues too much. I was lucky in that respect. Let's see, Sinful's Marlon Gibson. You can also buy a portable water tester for cheap. They work good. I used to check restaurant water. Craig Jordan, the Philippine Info Channel. Have you had to make adjustments in your daily activities during the Philippine summer? It can be brutal right now. Actually, no, it's been cool. It's actually been cool. This has been the coolest summer that we've had here in the Philippines in a long time, I think. And I won't say cool, dry, okay, which is different. It's still hot, but it's dry, and it's just started getting hot again because we're getting ready to go into the rainy season when it starts getting humid again, too. Lynn says, as a woman, I guess all we have in common tantrums, especially when we have monthly period. Yeah, that's probably true. A nomad overseas says, any recommendations for best property rental site to use there? Facebook Marketplace actually is pretty good. You know, I would say check Facebook Marketplace. There's lots of rentals on there. Sinful says at nomadoverseas.property.com. There you go. And Carousel and Facebook Marketplace. So those are the places you want to look at. Hey guys, we're heading almost up to that 90-minute mark. We're about 3 minutes away. I'm just going to end it here because we're right at the end of the string tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and we will probably be on here next week. If I'm not on here, just come on the week after, okay? But we'll probably most likely be on here next week. God bless, guys, and I hope you have a good night. And thanks to Sinfuls for being the moderator tonight. Thanks, guys. God bless, guys.